Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Tsukihime, Piece of Blue Glass Moon. Last time we met back up with CL, and Shiki was surprised. And then we made the choice to go see Noelle rather than CL. And that might have consequences later on. We'll have to see. But yeah, now he's leaving the mansion to meet up with ARCUEID. Right, yeah, because ARCUEID showed up at the mansion. I forgot about that part for a second. She showed up at the mansion, and yeah, we basically had to panic and make a promise to meet up with her at the park. Otherwise she was gonna essentially give away that she was here, and that wouldn't have gone very well for anyone. I don't think. So yeah. The lights inside the mansion start to turn off as 10 o'clock approaches. It's about time to go. I pocket my knife, just in case, and leave my room. I wonder what ARCUEID's gonna have us do, because we don't have to hunt Roa anymore. So... Oh, I got confirmation that the person that we saw in the flashback talking to Roa was in fact Nero from the original game. So I don't know. It's probably gonna be a mixture of like Nero causing trouble and Roa trying to take over Shiki's body through their connection. Which again, I know it's probably spoilery for anyone who hasn't played the original, but I assume anyone who's watching me play has probably played either this or the original, at least, or both. I would hope. So yeah. There's no sign of anyone at the park. This side of the station is Soya's office district, so there are no local residents out for a stroll or young people on their way home from a night out. At 10 o'clock at night, it's all but deserted. And there, in this empty public park, stands a pure white figure looking entirely out of place.
Ah, kita. Konbanwa. Jikan pittari da ne, Shiki.
Yeah, we weren't gonna risk, blowing you off and, you deciding to take revenge for that, It would be kind of risky. There's that smile. Berating myself for almost letting it enchant me, I glare sharply at ARCUEID. She ambushed me in my own room and only barely escaped undetected. What would I do if the little respect I command at home vanished to nothing? Go stay with, your boy Arihiko for a few days. Maybe permanently, depending on how bad things are.
聞いてさっきまでそこのベンチに2人組の男女がいたんだけど、おかしな話をしていたの。なんでも誕生日が近いから何か欲しいものがないかって。
待った。その前に言っておくことがある。
Don't ruin her good mood.
というか、俺は怒っている。お前がきっちり反省するまで話はしないから、そのつもりで。
I mean, look, she does owe him an apology for breaking into his room and nearly getting him in some deep shit, but like, come on, man.
怒ってるってなんで？
やっぱりな。分かってないと思った。
Yeah, why would she?
まあそこはいいよ。お前に一般常識なんて求めてないから。どうせ吸血鬼のすることだと諦める。でも付き合わされるこっちはたまらないんで、厳重注意だけはしておきます。
It's like I'm training a wild animal.
その言い方なんか
嫌。Yeah, it is kind of insulting.
私、あなたを困らせるようなことはしてないんだけど。
Didn't you though? Didn't you?
人の部屋に忍び込んでおいてそれか。人間の世界じゃ無断で遊びに来ることも、2階の部屋に窓からやってくることも、そもそも家の敷地に入ることも犯罪なの。
He's making a good point, ARCUEID.
まったく見つからなかったからよかったものの、もし誰かに見られていたらどうするつもりだったんだろう。
I think you're forgetting
まさ
that
か力ずくで解決とかしないよな。
I think you're forgetting that she has, you know, those eyes that can make people do whatever and forget whatever.
何よ失礼ね。そんな野蛮なことしません。第一、人間に見つかるようなヘマはしないわ。監視カメラだって壊しておいたし、もし誰かに出くわしても意識を飛ばすだけだし。
ARCUEID. First of all, I mean, I know the Tono family can pay for it, but still, you breaking security cameras is kind of, you know, morally reprehensible. And two, at least two of the people in the mansion, if you try to knock them out, if you try to knock them out, you may end up breaking something on accident. You know, like you're used to fighting vampires who are a bit more resilient, you know? If she went at the Hisui or Kohaku and she knocked them out, again, unless she used her eyes, which is, you know, possible, or one of her other myriad of abilities that I'm sure she has, sure. But if you know, okay, well, just thinking about what the first thing that comes to mind when she says like knock them unconscious is like hitting them on the back of the head or something. You know, I don't know.
カメラ壊しただ。さりげにすごいこと言ったな。それを力ずくって言うんだこのバカ女。
Yeah.
バカ女ってあなた私をバカにしてるの？
Yeah, kinda.
バカをバカって言ってんだから、それ以外何があるって言うんだバカ。反論があるなら聞いてやるから言ってみろ。
Got nothing to say to that?
何よ、私は式に会いに行っただけじゃない。
Well, you see, you kinda... I don't even know what to say to you anymore.
そんなに怒られるようなことしてないと思うけど。
She still doesn't see what she did wrong. I'm too dumbfounded to even speak.
わかった、わかりました。確かにカメラを壊したのは余分な行為だったと思う。
A little bit.
要はあれね、人間的にきちんと玄関から行けばよかったんでしょ。次からはそうするわ。招かれないと家に入れないなんて規制もないし。
I mean, yeah, we already knew you didn't have to be invited in to places, but...
ちょ、待って、どこ行くの式？話まだ終わってないよ。
Yeah, you're missing the point. Like, he doesn't want people getting the wrong idea. If you just go in through the entrance, you're definitely gonna get seen. Like... Whoops. Unbeknownst to me, my feet started walking me home. My instincts have detected a slew of red flags in ARCUEID's words. But it's not like I could outrun her, so I marched right back.
悪い。考え事をしていたら足が勝手に動いた。あと、玄関からやってきたらその時こそ絶好だからな。本気で恨んでやるから覚悟しやがれ。
Yeah, it's fair.
玄関からでもダメなの？
No.
じゃあどうすればいいのよ。私にあなたに近寄るなって言っているの？
Stay away from the house, at least.
そんなこと言うかバカ。何もかもいきなりすぎるから、ちゃんと段階を踏んでくれればいいんだ。
Right. Yeah, and what are those?
お前はいるだけで目立つんだから、もっとおしとやかに行動してくれってこと。
Fair. If I wanted to invite someone to the Tono Mansion, I would have to introduce them to Akiha first. Once she's gotten to know them, they could come over anytime. Okay. Or at least that's what I'm trying to explain to ARCUEID, but she's just glaring at me indignantly like an angry cat. I mean, yeah.
何よ、勝手なことばっかり言って。
ARCUEID. Actually, you know what? Thinking about their interactions so far on this route, aside from her getting him to help with the vampire problem, everything has been on his terms. Realistically, when you think about it, yeah. Aside from that, yeah, it is kind of him being the controlling one in like every scenario. So you know what? She has a point.
だいたいいるだけで目立つってどうしてよ。私、外見は人間と変わらないでしょ。
You're hot? Like what?
あのな、美人はいるだけで目立つもんなの。人間であるかどうかは関係ない。
I replied to her frankly. The ears are back. Maybe it's because I gave her a straight answer, but ARCUEID readily accepts it.
まあ、こっちも言い過ぎたけど。とにかく、今後はあんな無茶はやめてくれ。俺の心臓が止まりかねない。
わかったわ。好きな心臓が止まるのは嫌だから。できるだけおしとやかにする。
I don't think there's much danger of that in his case, realistically. Well, actually, it does. Hang on. Oh yeah, severe anemia by itself is enough to trigger a heart attack. Okay. Alright, fair enough. ARCUEID nods meekly. Would you look at that? She actually listened to me. Actually, seeing her all sad and helpless like this makes me realize she's not so different from an ordinary human girl. Are you sure about that?
じゃあ本題に入るぞ。
Yeah.
どうしてうちに来たんだ、アルクエイド。俺にはもう用はないはずだろ。
Not quite.
何って吸血鬼探しよ。シキ、私に協力してくれるって言ったじゃない。
やっぱりそうきたか。親元は倒したけど、まだ手下が残ってるもんな。
Not his minion. I mean, yeah, his minions are around, but she's not talking about his.
でもどんな心境の変化だよ。お前の敵はブローブだけじゃなかったのか。
私の敵はブローブじゃないよ。私が探していたのはこの町に救った吸血鬼で、ブローブは関係ないもの。
Yeah, that was a little bit of a misunderstanding there, Shiki.
は？
Yeah. Another vampire entirely?
待ってくれ。それどういう意味なんだ？
It means exactly what it sounds like.
言った通りの意味だけど。もう、四季って切れるようでどこか抜けてるのね。いい？確かにブローブは吸血鬼だったけど、あいつは人の血を吸っていた？
Yes?
吸っていたかって当然だろ。あいつはあんなに人間を片っ端から燃やして。
Okay, I think I said this back in her route too. But this doesn't really make any sense because we literally watch him grab that girl and drink from her in the hotel right in front. Like, that literally happens. Like, yeah, he wasn't drinking people en masse, but he did, drink people. So, and he did it to Noelle, so that's it. How did I not notice something so obvious? The bodies left behind by the serial killer had been drained of blood, but they were otherwise unscathed. Okay, yeah, that's part of it too. Oh wait, I think I also came to this realization right after in ARCUEID's route too. I said that, then this popped up. Cause yeah, he would drink and then I think she was scorched immediately, right? Okay. Yeah, I just had deja vu to ARCUEID's route where I think I had this exact same... Okay. Well, but Vlav was different. He burned his victims, he drank their blood too, but draining them was never his modus operandi. Come to think of it, the victims at the hotel weren't connected to the serial murders. They were treated as casualties of a fire. Which means Vlov must not have had any connection to the serial murders to begin with. Yeah.
じゃあ吸血殺人事件は何なんだ？
Long story.
一体どこの誰があんな真似をしていたんだ？
だからあの事件はブローブと別の吸血鬼の仕業なのよ。この町に隠れていたのはロアという名前の使徒よ。
Yeah.
年月をかけて都市を侵食するタイプで、その特色は転生すること。一つの都市を汚染した後、その命を終えて次の都市を食い物にする吸血鬼。
Yeah, and ARCUEID fucked up by killing him immediately and not getting you to perma-kill him. She doesn't even bother to hide her disdain. The intensity in her voice sends a chill up my spine.
転生って死んだら生まれ変わるって意味の転生。
Buddhists call this concept samsara, I believe. When someone dies, they are reborn into another life, and thus their soul lives on forever.
そう、殺されても次の命に生まれ変わる人間を利用した不老不死の亜種。転生は聖堂教会の教義にはないから、ロアはいないものとして扱われてきたわ。
Okay.
私はそのロアを殺すためにこの町にやってきた。ブローブが来た理由は、ちょっとあやふやになってきたわね。
It seemed like because he had beef with Roa is what it seemed like, if I'm remembering correctly, because he talked about the snake, and he was pissed at CL once he realized what her fighting style was and who his teacher's previous, yeah.
名誉目当てで私を追いかけてきた祖かと思ったけど、ブローブにはそれだけの理性、使徒社会における協調性はなかったみたいだし。
Yeah.
ま、そのあたりはもういっか。ブローブは死んだんだし。
Yeah, who cares?
とにかくブローブとロアは別物よ。ブローブは正真正銘、この町の使徒化とは無関係の第三者ってこと。私、標的がブローブだなんて言わなかったでしょ。
No, you didn't. That's fair.
ブローブにとっての標的は私だったけど、私にとっての標的はブローブじゃなくて、この町で通り魔と言われている吸血鬼だけよ。シキ、まさかとは思うけど、ものすごく単純な勘違いしてた。
I mean, he may have.
うん。勘違いしてた。
No. All's well that ends well, at least. Realizing my mistake, I awkwardly look away from ARCUEID. She said her goal was to kill the vampire, which I just assumed was Vlov.
それじゃあ、あの夜ブローブと殺し合ったのは無意味なことだ
I
ったの
wouldn't say for nothing. He was still a threat who was killing people.
無意味じゃないわ。ブローブがあなたたちにとって脅威だったのは事実だし、シキは私の代わりに戦ってくれたんじゃない。
Well, technically, CL got the finishing blow, but we weakened him enough where he was able to be killed by CL, so, yeah.
だからそんな顔しないで。もっと自信を持って。あの時のシキは綺麗だった。私、あんなに目が離せなかったのは初めてだった。
Yeah, we were looking at CL and ARCUEID was looking at us.
まあ、だからこそあいつが視界に映るのが我慢ならなかったんだけど、目障りにも程があったわ。
Wow, I'm actually a little moved. I didn't expect to be cheered up by ARCUEID. She's right, though. None of that was pointless. Whoever Vlov was, he was a calamity that had to be stopped. By doing that, even I, whose sole talent is killing, managed to make myself useful.
いや、でも待て。じゃあ、吸血鬼事件は何も解決してないってことか。ロアってやつはまだ生きているんだから。
About that, You may have been dust already?
それも問題なし。もう危険はないから安心して。
Yeah.
ここからは後処理みたいなものだし。
Yeah. ARCUEID, worked fast.
後処理ってことは。
Yeah. Is she saying what I think she's saying?
ええ、ロア本体はとっくに始末したわ。言ったでしょ、シキのおかげだって。グローブに使う分の力が余ってたし、すぐに見つけてやっつけちゃった。
Mm-hmm. ARCUEID reports matter-of-factly that the incident has been resolved.
それは町の人間として助かるけど。
Mm-hmm. But a sense of terror washes over me. My heart pounds against my ribcage.
でもロアを殺してもそのしもべはまだ活動している。
Yeah.
前に話したでしょ、親元としもべの関係。死者はみんな死体に戻っただろうけど、使徒にまでなったのが数体残ってるみたいなの。それでね、シキ。
Yeah. ARCUEID calls my name sweetly. I see what this is. I know what she wants now. The reason ARCUEID called me out here is...
ロアを倒すのに力を使っちゃったから疲れちゃって。
Yeah, there it is.
誰かが私と一緒に使徒の後始末をしてくれたら助かる。
Okay. Somebody, huh? I knew it. I'm grateful to ARCUEID for all she's done, and I can't let the vampires still lurking about have free reign. But I don't know if I can agree to this, no matter how pressing my sense of obligation. My fight with Vlov flashes through my mind. None of them will be as strong as Vlov. Come on now. The terror I felt still lingers in my bones, enough to send a chill up my spine. I've gone back to my everyday life. Don't get involved with vampires anymore. I promised CL.
そっか。じゃあとっておきを言ってあげる。
What is your trump card?
お願いだからブローブを倒してくれ。
Alright, he made that promise. Ah, shit.
これって誰の言葉だったかしら。
I can't exactly argue. Yeah, we did the same fucking thing to CL at lunch. ARCUEID might have lost her composure when she saw CL, but she still pulled through and helped us in the end. Yeah, if she hadn't held Vlov's blizzard at bay, the entire city would have been frozen over. Now it's my turn to keep my end of the bargain.
わかった。手を貸す。貸せばいいんだろ。
Yeah.
いいよ。俺も吸血鬼の排除には賛成だし。怖いのは嫌だけど、我慢して協力してやる。
そうこなくっちゃ。頼りにしてるわ、シキ。私と一緒に戦ってね。
Yeah. I'm in your care. God damn it. An eager smile forms on ARCUEID's face. I'm sure she's more than capable of handling this herself, but it's still nice to feel relied upon. The word vamp is also used to mean temptress of men, and it's easy to see why. This particular vamp didn't even need to remind me of my promise. Her smile alone would have convinced me.
Hard
to say if she knew what she was doing now.
身の危険を察して巣に引きこもるか。支配者から解放されたことで自由に夜を闊歩するか。今夜は前者、引きこもっている方に狙いをつけましょう。
Okay. With our plan of action decided, ARCUEID leads me to the residential district. From what I've heard, the vampires roaming around freely would pose the greater threat, but the executors, CL and Noel, are likely to be on their case already.
まず危険なのは自由になってはしゃいでいる人だろうけど、 この町にはあいつがいるから。そんなの昨日のうちに見つかって狩られてるわ。
Yeah, she's probably pretty good at that.
次に危険度が高いのは住処で休眠している集団ね。親元を倒すぐらいの外敵が現れた以上、群れていた方が安全と考える知能があるから。で、危険度、難易度ともに高いのが自由になった時点で群れから離れてじっと町に潜むやつ。それだけの判断力と適応力があるなら4回転を超えているだろうし、時間さえあれば新しい派閥を作りかねない。
Which would be very bad for this town, yeah.
新しい派閥、あの地下の広場みたいなものか。
地下の広場、そんなのあったのね。
Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah, you never went down there.
ロアのコミュニティほどじゃないだろうけど、月に1人の割合で人知れず犠牲者を出すぐらいの。でも代行者がいる限り、そんな真似をしたらすぐに見つかって処理されるわ。だから代行者がいる以上、上級の人はなかなか尻尾を出さないの。あいつらは死者狩りには便利だけど、同時に上級の人を警戒させる厄介者なのよ。
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't the more powerful dead apostles also be terrified of you, though? Like, I would think, right? I see. From the vampire's perspective, CL and Noel are like the police. Their presence alone is enough to deter random acts of violence and organized criminal activity. At the end of the day, however, they only address the symptoms. To truly clean the streets is a much more painstaking task.
それじゃあ、今から行くところは吸血鬼が集まっている隠れ家なの？
Yeah, I assume so, but how would Arcwood know where they are? I guess she can smell them, maybe?
それは四季がいればはっきりするわ。それより四季、ロアの棺がどこにあったのか聞かないの？
I mean, sort of, I guess. What a peculiar thing to bring up.
別にいいよ。もう型がついたんなら興味はないし、俺には関係のない話だし。
Yeah, why would you?
そうなんだ。四季の学校の地下にあったんだよって驚かそうと思ったのにな。
Well, Arcwood pouts disappointedly.
いや待て、そりゃ驚くよ。吸血鬼のボスのネグラがうちの学校の地下だったって。
Yeah, kinda.
上手に隠されてたけど、そこはほら、繊細かつ緻密な操作で見つけちゃった。
なぜ疑問符が差し込まれる？
Arcwood's explanation is all kinds of suspicious. Yeah, how did you figure it out? But that aside, Roa's lair was underneath my school? Although Arcwood says she's taking care of it, it's impossible not to be shaken.
四季、どうしたの？怖い顔をして。
Oh, just freaking out.
いや、親玉の住処が学校の地下にあったのなら、うちの生徒たちが犠牲になっていたかもしれない。
Yeah, about that.
それはないと思うけど、本体が眠る棺は最後の隠れ家だから、その周辺で食事なんて取らないわ。下手に血の匂いを残したら、代行者にたどられてしまうでしょ。
It's good. I mean, that's definitely not the case in the. I'm watching the anime as watch-alongs for members, and yeah, in the anime, so some of Shiki's fellow students are in fact Roa's minions. So, interesting difference.
そっか。自分の家の玄関で事件を起こすようなものだもんな。
Yeah, it'd be real dumb.
そうそう。元凶の膝元では異常は起きない。これ、人でも人間でも共通の隠蔽法でしょ？
I think that's a little bit different, but sure. That makes me feel a little better. Yeah, Arcwood takes the lead with an easy stride. She's so relaxed, it's hard to believe she's on her way to a vampire hideout. As for me, I feel nervous but not scared. Has my victory against Vlov just made me complacent? Or have I actually gotten a little braver? Both? Whatever the case, I'm glad I'm not shaking at least. Did ARCUEID just sneeze? She can sneeze? ARCUEID's sneeze pulls me out of my reverie. I'm about to ask if vampires can feel the cold, but then I recall the fight with Vlov. Of course they do. She may be tougher than a human, but I've seen her bleed, not to mention in pain, more than once.
そのミニスカが原因か。寒いのならこれ着るか?
I'm okay. Look, I know they can still feel the cold and heat and whatnot, but it has to be an extreme temperature, right? Like I'm finding it hard to believe it. Okay. I take my jacket off and offer it to ARCUEID.
いいの？やった！ちょっとの間だけ借りるね。
Sure. That had to have been like a fake sneeze, right? Like this. Okay, you know what? A suspension of disbelief. ARCUEID puts on my jacket and prances ahead, twirling in circles. Despite her sneeze, ARCUEID is the picture of health, a flower in full bloom. But I shouldn't keep staring. If I'm not careful, I just might fall for her.
なんだそれ。ここまで惚れっぽかったのか、俺。
Potentially. Shaking my head, I tear my eyes away from ARCUEID. The quiet residential area is just on the other side of the train tracks. I can't afford to be getting distracted with the vampire hideout so close. So I know the ARCUEID route only had the one ending. They cut the second ending. Actually, don't. I'm just thinking aloud, so don't actually tell me. I want it to be a surprise. But I am curious if the CL route has two endings. The hideout turns out to be right in the middle of the neighborhood. A typical 4-story apartment complex, nothing out of the ordinary. There look to be 4 apartments per floor, with lights visible in most of their windows.
このマンションがそうなのか。
ええ、それをあなたで確かめるの。
Oh, okay. How?
シキ、ここでメガネを外して、あの建物の周りを見て。
メガネを外してって、なんで？
Yeah, I don't see how that would do anything unless he was looking at people.
その方が確実だから。
Okay.
私は人間と人間じゃないものの気配を感じ取れる。あなたは生者と死者の違いが視覚情報として読み取れる。索敵方法は大いに越したことはないでしょ。
I guess, yeah.
これは明日からのテストも兼ねているわ。シキが私と行動するということは、その目で街を見るということだから。
ARCUEID's explanation makes sense, yeah? Plus, I'm the one who agreed to help, so there's no reason for me to decline. Hang on, let me put my jacket on, it's starting to get cold. In the 7 years since I got these glasses, I've never once walked the streets without them on. Looking at inanimate objects is enough to give me a headache, so it's not hard to imagine what seeing the lines on every passerby would do to me. But as of a few days ago, everything has changed. Yeah, now I know what hell looks like. After the horrors I saw underground, I can survive a headache or two.
メガネを外すよ。それで型がつくなら安いもんだ。
I look at the lines. The strain it puts on my brain instantly makes me nauseous. This place seems wrong. There's nothing unusual about the lines running across the building, but it feels somehow lifeless. There's something unnatural about the cold glare of the interior lights, about the strangely concentrated lines of death scrawled across the woman entering through the door.
そう、やっぱり当たりね。
Yeah. It would seem so. Instead of going to the entrance of the apartment complex, ARCUEID heads down the slope leading to the underground garage. The garage is guarded by a metal shutter.
このシャッター、人よけと消臭の結界がかかってる。それもロアが消えたことで薄れているけど。
Bending down, she places her hands under the shutter. Is she really going to pull the shutter up by...
シキ、このシャッター切れる？
Oh, yeah.
そりゃ切れるけど、いいのか？
I mean, how else are we gonna get in?
ええ、私よりシキが敵に。無理やり開けると警報が鳴るでしょ？
Yeah, it's fair. She does have a point. ARCUEID's pretty good at keeping her cool under pressure. I cut along a line on the shutter. Metal meets concrete with a clatter. I peer into the pitch black through the opening I just cut.
なんだこの匂い。
Yeah. I mean, there's probably dead bodies down here. A foul stench hits my nostrils. The garage reeks of rotting meat and rancid blood. Yeah, hi buddy. Oh, multiple buddies. Hey, how you doing? I see several squirming clusters of lines within. The sound of the shutter being sliced open seems to have caught their attention. Going by the lines, there are 5.
5体もいる。いや、それより気づかれてる。あいつらやる気だぞ、ある。
Yeah, she's on it.
お、アルクエイド。
I look back to see no trace of her. She must have vanished while I was busy cutting the shutter. ARCUEID? And now I'm in a fight for my life with no way out. I can't back down. Wait a minute. I can't even look back. The moment I guess she's testing to see what he can do. The moment I take my eyes off them, I'll become their prey. ARCUEID? Red cracks splinter my vision. Like a shattered mirror. Like a puzzle with its pieces scattered. The lines of death squirm into my eyeballs and etch themselves on my brain. I'm an idiot. I was so confident in myself I didn't even bother making the slightest semblance of a plan. And I'm going to die for it, right here, right now. That half-rotten corpse is going to squash my head like a block of tofu. Unless? Unless? I'm an idiot. I let surviving the catacombs go to my head and forgot that I'm just me. But you are him! Get him! Get him, Shiki! So now, with my patchwork humanity stripped away, all that's left is my true self, naked and bare. Oh! My body moves before my mind can follow. But guess what? I dismantle them without hesitation. It feels so familiar. The smell of blood, the flesh parting with no resistance. Why are you flashing back to ARCUEID? Man, you must have gotten quite the high after killing ARCUEID, huh? If all you're thinking about is her when you're dealing with other things. In the midst of this carnage. A sight I once tried to forget floods my mind, so vividly I can taste it. Good work. I resume breathing. A sharp headache snaps me out of my dizziness. 1 minute has passed. 5 bodies worth of dismembered parts are littered around me like a garbage.
見ちゃった。すごいんだ。本気になった式って。
I don't like how you're sounding right now, ARCUEID.
ARCUEID.
Blinking through my headache and delirium, I look back. ARCUEID reappears, making her way to me through the pool of blood. Scattered chunks of flesh turn to ash and vanish on the wind. The only thing left is a pool of blood, thick and dark like oil.
でも無茶は禁物よ。ほら、早くメガネをかけて。そのままだと倒れちゃうでしょ。
What do you mean that was reckless? You're the one who disappeared on us! What?
そうだな。ありがとう。
I don't know what game you're playing here, ARCUEID. Also, where was the spider one? He should have been here. I put my glasses back on and stuffed my knife into my pocket. The smell of blood is still making me queasy, but my headache quickly subsides.
死ぬかと思った。じゃなくて。話が違うぞ、アルクエイド。なんだっていなくなるんだよ、お前は。
あら、協力するってこういうことでしょ。まさか私にだけ戦わせて、自分は何もしないつもりだったの？あなたは。
Okay, but then we did all the fighting and you sat back.
いや、それはそうだけど。
I'm unable to refute her logic. Getting involved with a vampire means diving headfirst into danger. It's my own fault for forgetting that.
確かに、俺は気が抜けてた。それは認める。けど、それなら事前にそうと言ってくれ。お前なんか意地が悪くなってないか？
No.
ええ、楽しんだのは事実よ。式の魔眼がどれだけすごいのか自分の目できちんと確かめたかったから。
Yeah, I imagine like if one was about to grab you from behind and it didn't look like you were gonna react, she probably would have stopped it. But
テストってそういうことかよ。はいはい。じゃあ結果はどうでしたか、お姫様。
pretty good.
文句なし。あなたの目は破格の魔眼よ。その希少価値は言葉では言い表せないぐらい。
One of a kind?
それはよかった。
Maybe?
お眼鏡にかなって光栄ですとも。
I punctuate my retort with a sigh. Even if she's paying me an honest compliment, it's hard to be happy about it. Being praised for my ability to kill people is like confirmation that I'm good for nothing else.
でも、その目と同じぐらいあなた自身もおかしな人ね。
Yeah, just the eyes doesn't explain your ability to like maneuver around.
直前まで逃げ腰だったのに、ナイフを握って殺すと決めた途端、迷いなく死者を解体するんだもの。
Yeah.
そういうところ、私と似ているのかも。なのに人間よりも人間らしいなんて、すごく不思議。
I don't know if that's a good thing or not when you say it like that. I'm not sure what emotion I hear in her words. Affection? Admiration? Compassion? It came out of nowhere and I can't find a fitting response.
ねえ、ドアの後始末が終わったら私と一緒に行かない？よくわからないけど、一人で帰るの嫌になっちゃった。
Go with you where exactly? ARCUEID trots away a few steps, then swings around to face me. I answer without thinking.
あのな、行くってどこにだよ。まさか、お前の故郷じゃないだろうな。
Maybe. Her sincerity goes over my head and my reply comes out sharp.
何その嫌そうな顔。私、一応お姫様だよ。玉の腰乗ってみない？
Damn, you're being quite forward there, ARCUEID.
お断りだ。そんな爆弾みたいな腰に乗れるか、バカ。
Plus, you know, all the people he would potentially rule over, you know, would probably try and eat him. You know, well, I don't know if that would work out. Plus, they would all be dead.
なんか今すごく侮辱された気がするんですけど。
You know, because you know, you kind of murdered everyone, but he doesn't know that yet in this route. So, half-heartedly trying to quell ARCUEID's protests, I take another look around the parking lot. There don't seem to be any more vampires around. If Roa was still alive, we probably would have been attacked by the entire apartment complex, but these were all that remained. The other inhabitants were probably the rank 1 and 2 low-level dead apostles that Ciel mentioned, mere corpses now that their sire is dead.
もうここには誰もいなそうだな。外に出よう、アルクエイド。さすがに血の匂いがきつい。
Whatever you say, man. I call out to ARCUEID and we leave the garage. There's no telling for how many years these vampires have been festering in the darkness, but now the light is shining in. Outside, I fill my lungs with fresh air. Though this job is done, I don't feel much sense of accomplishment. The hunt for Roa's minions isn't over yet, and more pressingly, what are we supposed to do about the rest of the apartment?
どうするんだ、アルクエイド。他に吸血鬼がいないとしても、ここはねぐらの一つなんだろう。もしかしたら中に隠れている奴がいるかもしれないし、念のために調べるか。
Now, this place is probably clear.
もちろん、しっかり後始末はするわ。
No, oh, never mind, okay.
じゃあ、式はちょっと離れてて。
Don't tear the building down. ARCUEID? ARCUEID, no. I don't like that. I don't, you know, something about that, kinda scary. Kinda fucked up. ARCUEID turns back to the apartment complex and raises her left hand in the air. Then... She fucking tore the whole building down. She fucking tore it down. The one thing we said not, or I said not to do. With a great rumbling, the apartment complex collapses in an instant, smushed like a cake by some gigantic unseen hand. There were probably real people in there. Well, actually, probably not.
どう？式みたいな希少性はないけど、私だってすごいでしょ
？ARCUEID smiles proudly, that fucking idiot.
見直してくれた？というか、驚いた？
We think you're a dumbass.
そうか、バカだったな、お前。
I grab ARCUEID's hand and start running. The magnitude of her power doesn't surprise me. After all, she's strong enough to protect the whole town from Vlov's snowstorm. Just please have some common sense.
なんで逃げるの？もう危険はなくなったのに。
You know, Ciel and Noelle might, you know, go running over there after that display.
あんな騒ぎを起こしたら人が集まってくるだろう。ちょっとは考えろ、バカ女。
うん。 それはそうよね。
Uh-huh.
私ったらうっかりさん？
Yeah, a little bit. Just a little.
すごいな。分かっててやったのか。
Things have taken an unnecessary turn for the worse. Fighting the flow of people coming out to investigate the source of the noise, we run to the empty park. I don't even know what's going through her head anymore, man. She kind of gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Are we on CL's POV? No heavy machinery or explosives precipitated this destruction. The building was crushed by a controlled natural phenomenon, by a minute adjustment to the laws of nature. Half in shock and half in rage, she listens to the collapse, the product of millennia of human advancement, a symbol of modern civilization, razed to the ground on a fleeting whim. Yeah. Her habit flutters in the wind as she takes in the scene. The executor watches on from 20 meters above the ground. Looking good, CL. Looking real good. Her duty is the extermination of the dead apostles running rampant around town, but that's already been dealt with. She hunted down the last of the rank 4 dead apostles last night. All that remains is to find and destroy their sire's coffin and their feeding ground, although as of a few moments ago, the latter is no longer an issue. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know either, CL. She's trying to show off, it seems. She mutters to herself in frustration. The executor has long been observing ARCUEID Brunstad in silence, but after what she's just witnessed, she can no longer contain her disdain. Yeah. Well, kind of, but also no. She turns her eyes to the young man running with ARCUEID's hand in his. That only serves to confirm her irritation. Is it the vampire she resents? Or is it the sight of the two of them together? The executor cannot tell. Once they vanish in the direction of the park, she shifts her attention back to the demolished apartment complex. Already a group of nearby residents have gathered at the scene, drawn by the commotion. Several police cars peel off from the main street in front of the station, heading this way. The executor continues facing ahead, but her words are directed at the darkness behind her.
なんだてめえ、気づいてんならそう言えってな。声をかけるタイミングがつかめなかったじゃん。
I don't think she respects you, if I had to guess. A small whistle of wind cuts through the air. Like the executor standing on her high perch, the voice belongs to another who lords over the skies. Only he needs no foothold. The 12-year-old acting prelate, Mario Gaio Bastino, perches behind the executor on thin air. Oh?
ノエル先生からあなたのことは聞いています。互いに自己紹介は必要ありませんね。
まあな。てめえの経歴は嫌ってほど目を通した。今さら何を聞くまでもねえ。んで、あれの処理の話な。じき俺の使えねえ部下が駆けつけて話をつけるんで、てめえはとっとと消えていいぜ。下の野獣馬どもにいちいち暗示をかける必要はねえよ。
Looking back down, she sees a number of black cars arriving on the scene after the police. In them are Mario's very own inspectors, bought and paid for. Within the hour, they'll have spun this inexplicable catastrophe into a simple, unfortunate accident.
それは結構。こちらも手間が省けます。ですが、いいのですか？ノエル先生には厳しく詰問したと聞きますが。
He probably knows that he can't fuck with you.
埋葬機関の犬が権力になびく玉かよ。だいたい殺されても値を上げないって話じゃねえかてめえ。マグロ相手に拷問するほど暇じゃねえしな。てめえらの単独行動には目をつぶってやるよ。それとも任意同行するか？おい。
No, probably not.
構いませんよ。司祭代行の言葉は尊重します。
Oh, that's good.
ただし、それが正式な手続きによるものならです。
Ooh, yeah, see you. That's where you don't have any foothold there, Mario, because as we heard before, he's not here officially. Mario does not answer, but his lips curl in amusement.
話が早くて助かるぜ。さすが歴戦のつわものだな、大公者。というわけで、てめえとの情報交換はなしだ。それとも借りを作っておくか？
I'm glad he worded it that way, unless you want to owe me one. Because he knows he can't force her to be like, oh yeah, oh, you saved me from dealing with those idiots. Oh, you know.
必要ありません。こちらはこちらの責務を。あなたはあなたの職務を果たしてください、マリオ。
It's fair.
へえ、俺はてっきりここで殺し合いになると思ったんだがね。邪魔者は事前に潰すのがてめえらの流儀だ。大司祭直下の俺は目の上のコブじゃないのかい？
I mean, you know, I said before he couldn't fuck with her, but like, something tells me he could hold his own and make it at least a pain for her to try and kill him. The young boy's aggressive tone is a clear provocation. The executor shrugs it off without so much as looking over her shoulder.
そうですね。ただの司祭代行ならそれもあり得たでしょう。ですがあなたなら例外です。いえ、ラウレンティスの人間であれば、誰であれ信用に値します。あなたは目先の利益で功を焦りはしないでしょう。
はあ？なんだそれ？信用に値するだ。権力に尻尾は振らねえてめえが？たった今背筋主義にでも目覚めたか？いやまあ、確かに金ほど信用しやすい見返りはねえけどな。
Wait, what? Money?
顔は似ていますが兄上とは正反対ですね。あなたは心の底から失望しました。
Brother? What? I mean, I know he has a bunch of siblings, but why does she know one specifically?
ああ、ちょっと待てよ、尻でか女。あのクソ兄貴がなんだって？
I mean, she does have Look, all I'm saying is, in the OG, you know what? Well, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. That's all I'll say. Let's just say in the original, Shiki had an appreciation for that fat ass, as Mario says.
私はあなたの兄を知っています。以前、一度だけ同じ任務に就いたことがあるので。ラウレンティス枢機卿の息子ということで、周囲からは誤解されていましたが、彼は尊敬に値する人物でした。その彼が言ったのです。もし弟たちに会うことがあったら、なるべく手加減してやってくれ。ひねくれているが、根は青臭い正義感だ。
なんだそれみっともねえ。死ねばいいってんだあのクソ兄貴。 使い捨てのメス犬一匹に何媚び売ってやがる。ラウレンティスの面汚しが。
Now I'm really curious about this brother, because he seems like the only good one now with the way he's talking.
ええ、その一点であなたたちは信用できます。父上の名誉を守る、そのためにあなたたちは行動している。ここで私を捕獲するより他に優先すべきことがあるのでしょう。
なんだそりゃ、親父の名誉を守る。そんなことはあのクソ兄貴がほざきやがったのか。
いいえ、そういったことは一度も。とにかく無口な方だったので、ただ共に過ごして私がそう感じただけの話です。
これだから20歳そこそこのガキは半端に理想に燃えてやがるから始末に追えね
え。Okay. Never heard it. Chase my eye. What mess is he talking about? Like, obviously it has something to do with ARCUEID and Roa, but like okay. I don't know how their family plays into it.
あれから6年、今はお父上の補佐に勤めているのでは。彼のことです。立派な人物になっているでしょう。
Huh. Interesting. As the executor reminisces about the past, her audience looks on with cold eyes. The acting prelate grinds his teeth.
え。しらけた。もうてめえとは交渉なんざしてやらねえ。勝手に一人で土地狂って。
Yeah, give up and run home like a bitch.
どうせロア狙いだろ。こっちも同じだが、用があるのは奴の攻防だけだ。本体はてめえに任せてやるよ。
Wait, they've already figured out that he's not fully gone from this area? Or is Mario just saying this to give CL a distraction? Like, does Mario just not want her to know? Or have they both actually figured out that Roa's not gone? Okay. The wind whistles as Mario takes his leave. His previous standoffish bluster is nowhere to be seen. The executor must have gotten under his skin.
待ちなさい、司祭代行。一件だけあなたに頼みたいことがありました。それを条件に、ここから見逃してあげましょう。
Damn, she's straight up said I'll kill your ass if you say no. Oh, shit. Mario's fingers stop. He makes to turn around to tell the executor off, only to realize that her threat was not an idle one. Just one solitary string holds him aloft. The executor has stood surrounded by over 700 spirit threads for minutes now, until a moment ago when she incinerated all but one in total silence.
魔術栄唱はなかったな。指先から魔力を流しただけで燃やしやがったか。嘘みてえな生成量だ。波の魔術師の何百倍だ。とっくに化け物だな、大公主シエル。
Yeah, I think she knows that.
まあ、そうでもなけりゃ、イデアブラッドを2つも3つも保持していねえか。
おしゃべりは結構。最後の一本も燃やしますか。
I'm guessing idea bloods are the thing he wanted from the fight scene from Vlov, right? Is the like the remnant of of a dead apostle ancestor? I assume so.
待てやめろ。転落死なんて間抜けな死に方は冗談でも勘弁だ。ってもう燃えてる相変わらず容赦ねえなてめえ。
Yeah, you should shut up, Mario.
もう仕方ねえ。
Mm-hmm.
聞くだけは聞いてやるよ。要件を言ってみな。
Good boy.
私の同僚の処遇についてです。すでにあなたは彼女に会っています。なら私からの提案は理解できると思いますが。
What do you mean by that? The executor's tone has grown cold. She speaks in a calm voice that imparts only fact. But her implication is plain. Executor Noelle is at her limit, both mentally and in terms of ability. She has nothing else to offer.
ああ、そういうこと。人事異動は俺の領分だ。片手間でいいなら請け負ってやるけどよ。いいのか？俺に預けるってことは好き勝手に使い潰すってことだぜ。
Getting run ragged doing some bullshit jobs is better than getting killed, I guess.
構いません。できれば近日中に手続きを。彼女はブローブ・アルハンゲリに血を吸われてもいます。問題ないレベルですが、万が一ということもあります。
Yeah.
あなたの権限で汚染審査を行ってください。
I kind of forgot that happened. Well, I didn't forget, I just kind of wrote it off. I was like, oh, well, if she didn't turn, like, within a day, she's probably fine.
万が一ね。ま、プラシーボ効果ってのもあるしな。俺から見てもありゃガタガタだ。早いとこ全身診察してやるとするか。それでてめえがこっちの邪魔をしなくなるってんなら安い買い物だ。
With that, their business is concluded. The boy departs, this time without interruption. Only the executor remains, her habit fluttering in the wind. She looks down upon the scene of destruction once more and breathes a small sigh. ARCUEID, you've made a mess of things. And what did he mean, like, side gig? I don't know. I suppose we'll see,